Hello? Hello? And hi. Haven't done one of these in a while, so I figured why the heck not. Uh, Welcome to another Let's Talk stream. I guess for those who haven't seen these before, they're usually very short, just me conversing and with you guys talking about a topic that first comes to mind, and then kind of just going from there. Um, Admittedly, today I actually kind of wanted to talk about something that has I did a little bit of digging on this. As anybody who's seen any of the streams so far, hi Atari. Um, for anyone who's watched any of the recent streams for the past few days, I've talked about the fact that um, one of the stream's video versions got a copyright claim to it, and it was from one of those several CS um, companies, which I don't think it's the company themselves really at fault directly, but at the same time it is. Um, so it was for the song Dire Dire Docks, except they weren't claiming on behalf of Nintendo. I know that for a fact because of the fact that anywhere you look on this platform, there are thousands of Nintendo songs no one cares. People just look at it and go, okay, sure. I mean, Nintendo probably does care, not to the degree where they look at somebody playing their game as like a Let's Play or on live stream like I am. They'll look at it and go, they're using our music, we gotta put a copyright claim or strike. They're not that kind of company. But, and there are billions of videos on here proof of that at this point. I think the thing that's bothering me though, and it's not just me either, is that this happens a lot. I was doing some digging and I don't know. I can't really claim that it's a fraudulent um, claim, quite frankly, because the claim that I got was for a remix of um, the song that was actually playing. I ended up having to dispute it, and hopefully that goes well. If not, I guess the claim will just stay and I'll have to work around that somehow. The problem, and the reason I wanted to talk about this though, is the fact that this has been going on for a lot of people. You'll find online on Reddit, on here, through videos that, on a lot of different websites. Those are just kind of the top two that do this the most. Um, where people have gotten so annoyed at how often this happens that they've had to, like, there are videos on this platform just talking about this and saying, look out for these potential fraudulent claimers. And it's kind of honestly pathetic that it's gotten to the point where people. There was a video put up 6 years ago of this same claim, at least furthest back I could find, and nothing has been done about it to get rid of them. They're still there. I don't think their claimers are directly fraudulent, though. I think what it is they're being sent a statement by the algorithm, and the algorithm just tells them, hey, this might be your song, and they probably see it's a Mario thing. They're like, yep, it's ours. They don't even look at it. That's technically not fraudulent, it's just lazy. A lot of people claim it for fraudulent, admittedly, yes, but that's not fraudulent, that's just lazy. It's still upsetting, though. The reason I claim it's lazy is because most of the time when it's a creator that's not, and I know this from my own experience, is that there have been times where I have had these copyright claims. I've had to dispute one other in the past, and it was fine. They actually ended up rejecting the dispute, which made sense because it was their content. I was like, well, I mean, this was right after Article 17 and all that. Hi, Latoya. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well today. Welcome to one of the shorter of our streams we normally do. Actually, kind of just discussing, like a lot of people do, the problems with the whole copyright claim aspects that I've noticed a lot of people have been dealing with who are on here a lot, creating. And it's really starting to get to me in a way where I kind of wanted to talk about it. But anyway, like I was saying, I guess it's just kind of a fact of that when it comes to this stuff, I don't know. It's like, and like a lot of companies, I feel like YouTube just relies too much on the technology unless things get like really bad. At that point, they'll step in. Which isn't 100% true, but for stuff like this, I feel like it is the case because sometimes it feels like no action is being made. A good example of this, I guess in the aftermath I'll have to put a link in the description. I forgot to do that earlier on. Oh, well, is actually a channel I was watching recently, last night actually. Like I was about to go to bed and I was about to crash when this came up, and I was like, this might be important. So, the creator I was watching goes by the name, holy crap. Hold on, let me see. There. Nope, there's it not. Here we go. I might be pronouncing this wrong, but I think it's like Geo Burns. About 4 or 5 years ago, he complained about the fact that this kind of stuff was being done, and I believe it was by a similar group. It was another CS group, and they claimed a song on a video at a point in the video where no music was played whatsoever. And that's extremely problematic. I feel like ever since, and this is kind of me venting in a different direction, ever since Article 17, for those, I guess, who don't know what that is, it's not discussed very much anymore. It was basically a circumstance where YouTube ran into a very large hiccup with legal things, since it's an international website, not just one country. They were running into problems when it comes to copyright stuff, and I think if I remember correctly, they owed like a group in New York. I think that's where it was. Like, I think it was $2.5 million, if not more. And simultaneously, they were getting in trouble with the UK, and people were getting mad, yada yada. Long story short, they had to communicate with them, they had to agree with certain law points, and they had to start adding things to the algorithm. I feel like people have been, in part of that was music. Copyrighted music not being allowed to be used under certain circumstances. Originally, it was freelance. Anybody could use whatever they want, whenever they wanted before that. But when they updated it, it was obviously changed to where you needed to give permissions, or you needed to, like, basically based off of the cumulative of anybody's law, where you need permissions or you can't use it, unless it's like free use, but you'd have to prove that. In my case, it is because of that, the way the free use works in the United States. Is a little bit different from the otherwise, so that's why I put what I did. But I digress. When it comes to this kind of thing, what I really don't like about this the whole idea of doing this, I understand why. They were trying to balance amongst all, make things fair for everyone. Makes sense. But the thing I don't like is when they did this, and this is not at YouTube's fault in any kind of way whatsoever, musicians started taking advantage of that. I'd go online all the time to keep updated on this kind of stuff, like news sites, like reliable news sites like not NBC, what is it called? Fox. Why did I get that mixed up with NBC? I don't know. Because NBC is a news site, but I don't go to that one very often. Fox News has a tendency to give me at least facts when it comes to internet-based information. And when I looked this up, it's just sad how things have been going for this kind of thing recently. It's just pathetic. It got to a point where it was like, I dig into this information. I can't really give a link because I don't remember what link or what date it was when I read this. It was over the course of the past 2 years, though. I just remember flashing back to that as I'm like doing the research for like what we're talking about today, and honestly, it's just greed and gluttony. More greed, obviously, because it's a financial thing. But it's absurd. Like I said, I can't really blame YouTube for it directly. I wouldn't. Their algorithm isn't the best. I've said that before. Everyone says this, but the thing about what the algorithm built in screws up so many things. And once again, this all cord from the fact it's specific people too. Booma CS, I think, is the one that I got hit by, which is technically speaking illegal. It's not fraudulent, or at least the company's not. Although the claim isn't exactly 100% true. It's not fraudulent, but it's not true, kind of thing. I'm not exactly sure how to describe that. When it comes to this kind of thing, the worst part about it is that some companies take advantage of it, and they'll lie just for the sake of, ooh, my money. And I've seen this happen on the platform several times. It's not happening to me. Hasn't. And I'm not complaining for my sake on that. But I do find it pathetic how people would do this. It's not really fair to the creators who have to deal with that. I think one creator at a point almost had to go to court for it, if I remember correctly, too. Now, obviously this isn't everyone. But what got me thinking about it in the first place was the fact that I had to, and I did the research for it, I found more and more, and it's just, I know a lot of musicians. Actually, one of my closest friends, Danny, or on here he's considered D9, is a musician himself. He does remixes and beats of his own. I was using one of them once, and I found out that it was actually a remix of another individual's work. That was a copyright claim I got. I didn't realize it at first, but when I actually did the digging on it, I was like, oh, huh. Okay, well, you know what? Fair enough. On that front, I'm fine with it. On that front, it makes sense that the copyright claim is there, so I left it alone. It was for a Let's Play video that is actually deleted because it was deleted. It was within a specific time era that I wanted removed from the platform. It just didn't appeal to me, and it was a bad memory kind of thing, like extremely bad. And I wanted that removed, so I removed it. But the video itself was a Let's Play of a very old indie game called Penis Cloner. Something that I saw a long time ago Markiplier doing. I was skeptical when I saw Mark doing it first, but the only thing I can remember is there was no NSFW stuff on it, except for, unless you count the word penis, which, I mean, I wouldn't, but some do. The problem with so it had no music in the background. It was just the game. It was a flash game. It was 4 blocks moving around to create, solve puzzles. Which I actually as stupid as the game is, and my responses of idiocy towards it, I actually really did like the puzzle solving aspect of it. And I wanted music playing in the background faintly, that way I could actually have some kind of thing, kind of like what Markiplier did back when he did it. He used Viva La Paint, I believe. I don't remember what song I used, but I was trying to use one of D9's beats, and I found out that, not knowing that this existed at the time, but the beat was originally created by another YouTuber. I had to do some digging, and I found, wow. Oh. Okay, you know what, that's fine. I'll accept the claim then. If the video was still on here, I'd still accept it, but once again, I had to remove it for personal life reasons. Um, that is an acceptable claim. That I can understand. Like the claim I'm doing now, again. If it was Nintendo of America, Europe, or Japan, or any others, I'm pretty sure there are tens of different HQs for the different regions for Nintendo, but if it was any of them, if any of these Nintendo channels, if they were the ones to claim it, I'd be like, you know what? That's understandable. I get it. It is their original soundtrack. It's used in the background because it's in the game. They're claiming it. I get it. That's fine. I'm not going to complain. I'll leave it be. But this wasn't. In fact, let me see if I can find the exact details. I can't really showcase the computer right now just because it's been acting a bit weird lately. Looks like there's been no response yet, too, and I did this on the 13th. So it's been a while. But the claim itself was for... The composition was Super Mario 64 Water Remix. That's not what was playing. What was playing was the original soundtrack from Mario 64, the song Dire Dire Docks by Koji Kondo. This is not that. Not even close. Okay, it's meh, close, but it remixes and it has like more of a beat kind of tone to it. I don't know, man. I get why it would be picked up, but first of all, the sound is so faint compared to my voice that it could be oversighted anyway. It could be mistook. But you'd have to listen over and over. You'd have to blast the music and plug your ears every time I say something. Meaning you'd miss all of it anyway, even if it was that. I actually had to put this in the dispute I put in for it as well. Like the fact that, first of all, for use. So the fact that it's a Let's Play, YouTube has said this is for use themselves. The fact that it's a Let's Play and it's a gaming thing, immediate for use. So, especially, at least in the US that's the case. I don't know if it's everywhere. I don't know how for use works in every single corner of the planet, but it is kind of sad. And these are kind of the examples I have. The individual that I was talking about, I think it was actually, I think it was also Buma CS. That's what it was. BUMA-CS. This is one of like 6 CS-based companies that spam copyright claim for no reason. They did the same thing when I was trying to live stream Banjo-Kazooie. I ended up Let's Playing it instead because of it. And some weird reason, live stream they claim it, but when it comes to the Let's Play, nothing. They leave it alone. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Which kind of showcases that they're just spamming. They're not actually looking. They're just spamming. And this had the same company, I believe, Buma CS. I thought it was like Agat CS or something. There are a lot of them. One of the above, actually I could probably read, yeah, copyright Abra CS, that's the one I was thinking of. So, the different companies that are becoming a major problem on here because they don't really consider that aspect. I have a list of it right in front of me now. Abra CS, Coda CS, Ice CS, Buma CS, Tono CS, ASCAP. I was close when I first said it, just didn't have the CS. And Tiesto. Couple of these, they're actual composition, like, producers. Most of them are. But some of them are scam. And the problem with them, though, is that they don't exactly have the time to go through all 2.5 billion videos, if not more, on this platform and look at every single one of them and go, that's us, we thoroughly looked at it, that's definitely us, that one's us, that they don't have time to do that. That's why I keep saying that I don't think this is fraudulent. And I did say it's laziness, but quite frankly, unless they have people on the side who analyze this stuff as their job, and they have like several people doing it, If that's the case, if they're doing that, then yeah, they're lazy, like I originally said. If not, then I just don't see how they'd be able to tell. It's still stupid though, because there are still several the like scam ones. It's usually one person or a small handful of people. I only know this because of the research I did on the site. And no, the research wasn't me just going to Google and saying, is this blank, and going to the most unreliable sources like Wikipedia. Like, I guess a good example of what I'm talking about, Abra CS, that one is a complete troll. That one is just bogus. Booma isn't. But they don't, because a lot of the time I've seen people get claims from Booma before as well. They disputed it, and you know, I gotta give credit to them at least. They pay attention and they don't attack. That's kind of why I'm so lenient about my end, at least. I disputed mine. If they're agreeing on it, and then they'll say so and they'll release it, or they'll just leave it alone for the 30-day time period. Or if they reject it, then I guess I'll just go with one of like 5 copyright claims on a channel that has over, if you include the videos in these, this channel has over 2,000 at this point. So I don't think the algorithm counts the stream replay video things as actual videos. Anyway, I don't know. I find major issues in this aspect, though, and it got me thinking. That's why I started talking about this in the first place. So all background stuff laid out now. The actual vent here is that I just kind of wish that that YouTube was a bit more analytical in the sense of their own views rather than the view of the algorithm. It just doesn't make sense to me. And the algorithm is something people complain about a lot. And it's just kind of sad, admittedly. It's pathetic. If we're being realistic here, it's just downright pathetic. Anyway, I'm gonna end up going in circles if I talk about this much longer. Plus, I don't have much time left to talk anyway. Thank you to everybody who joined me in this very short Let's Talk stream. Usually these are a little bit longer, and I'd like to make them. I have a couple other topics on the way that I'm probably going to do. But one announcement before I go. I can't. There is a possible chance I will be starting up, and I talked about this in yesterday's stream too. There's a possible chance I will be starting up with a group of different streams like we were doing the Let's Plays, where we'd have a different one for every single day. As it stands right now, every Sunday is going to be these. We're going to talk about things. Right now, as it stands right now, we only have 3 different game streams going, possibly 4 soon. If that does end up being the case, I have some purchases to make before we can do that. It's possible we will start a Zelda binge, including the Zelda games we've already done, because you just can't get enough Zelda. Too good of a game. And yes, even the ones that I dislike the most, like Zelda 2, for example, I don't like that one. It's not bad. It's not poorly designed for a general game. See you later, Atari. But it ain't the best. That's one thing I'm considering. I don't know if it'll be a binge series per se, but we'll see. But yeah. Other than that, I am going to be continuing on with the Souls games, Soulsborne and Souls-like. Once we finish with Elden Ring, probably going to do Code Vein, and then after that maybe Lies of Peace, since a lot of people have been asking for that. I planned on playing it on my own anyway, so I don't know. A lot of people are saying if you like Bloodborne, you'll like that. I might enjoy it then, because I actually do like Bloodborne. I'll probably have to play it on my own first, though, just so I don't show too much rage on here, because Yeah, people don't want to see me rage to that. That's all I gotta say. Anyway, outside of that, the only other things that I'm doing currently, the Super Mario binge, gonna continue regardless, and the Final Fantasy binge will continue. I am really wanting to do a Zelda binge, but I'm not sure yet how I'm going to approach that. There are different aspects I could take into consideration. With Super Mario RPG coming out soon, I might, after doing the Super Mario binge, do a Mario RPG binge, starting with obviously that one. A lot of people have been wanting me to do Wonder. I will, but not till later on, especially after the announcement that Nintendo will remove anything at the start. In that case, I am glad I'm doing the binge because it'll take me a while to get around to Wonder. Letting players experience it firsthand for themselves, which I will do the same. When I first play it on here, it'll be my first time playthrough as well. But I digress. The only other ideas I really have, I'm probably going to do a Ratchet and Clank binge, at least of the original 4 or 5 games. Maybe Ratchet and Clank Future as well. I will have to mute the game if we do the reboot original, because that one is also a movie and can get copyright claimed. It won't get struck, though. I know that because I tried. So I may mute the cutscenes, but I won't the rest of the game, by all means. But yeah, I probably will do a Ratchet and Clank binge, especially since I'm doing PlayStation Plus. So expect that to be added on this week, which will mean we'll have 4 different things. We still need to do a couple more, though, to fill in the blanks. But we'll see. That's just in the works, planned right now. Anyway, with that announcement being said, yeah, gonna leave this here. Thanks for tuning into this little short rant and announcement stream, guys. Shout out to both Latoya Williams and Atari Loftus for jumping into the chat, even for a brief moment. I'm gonna head off. I've got a lot going on very soon, so I gotta go get ready for it. Thanks again, guys. I'll see y'all later. Bye.